spirituality, if you were listening. It touches relationships. And it touches significant other, the things that we can think about. All this makes life. Life is made about, it's about relationship, it's about your career, it's about your employment, your job, it's about your family, it's about your relationships with friends and acquaintances, it's about your health, it's about your relationship with your maker. That's the spirituality. Whoever you call it, whether you call him God, whether you call him Yahweh, or whether you call him the unseen. I call him God because I'm a Christian. That's how I got to meet Selina. I'm from Yorkshire, if you haven't heard yet, which is close to 200 miles. So I drove all the way just to come and share with you and to impart one another. So I hope by the time you leave, you will be inspired to look into your life and see how you can help yourself. Selina was talking about helping yourself. So I'm sure you'll be empowered to look into how best you can help yourself. This is what I'm going to talk about. And it's a technique that I'm going to show you and present to you that will help you make the right choices. Not only right, but the best choices about your life. Decisions. When I walked in, I think it was him, we said we are always making decisions every day. And what did you say, my brother? Did you say it was every day?
Every day we learn every day.
And you added with every moment. So every moment in your mind, there's something cooking up there. If you are sitting, there's something cooking up. So this technique helped me somewhere. I've got so many stories, those who get to know me and those I've worked with. I've got so many stories, but I've reached a stage whereby my stories have a time. But I'm looking at what then. So if I have told you my story, what do I want you to do? What then? That's why I'm catching up from Selina's story. So making the right choices is what we are looking at. As we say, that's me, Rijeko, and you may not know my background. I'm a mother, I'm a wife, I'm an international accredited speaker and a coach. I speak in the public, I coach people, I transform their lives, I help them to change their mindset using my own stories. That's the point at which I normally talk about my stories. And my coaching is from a Christian-based background. The bottom bit is how you can get hold of me. So today I'm talking about your own self-assessment. In life, we are so much used at sitting and doing nothing. We are so much used at looking at the next person to you or the person you bump into and you envy how they are doing things. Oh, I like that. I loved Selina's transformation. I loved her story. We saw my sister earlier on, we commented on her fascinator. I said, that's beautiful, it's matching. But can I do that? Many people say, I can't do that. Somebody will walk in here and they say, I'm a doctor. Selina was talking about doctors a lot and nurses. And we say, oh, I wish I was a doctor. You can be a doctor in your own way if you want to. You can be anything you want to be because you have the power in you. You have the power in you. That is what you need to discover. You discover this by taking a self-assessment. If Selina's story has inspired you, go back home and sit and take a self-assessment. Ask yourself, how do I make, or how do I have the right choice? How do I make that right choice? Is it a matter of priorities? Is it a matter of being self-aware of what I'm doing at a particular time? Is it a matter of using my own personal knowledge? Is it a matter of experience, learning from my own experience out of the results of what happens? I would like to say, from every experience, there's a lesson. God is so tricky. He gives you this experience for you to learn. That's why I said, so what then? What do you learn out of your story? We all have a story. Mom has a story that she was telling me she went to testify a few weeks ago. That's a story. But what do you learn from your story? How does it inspire you? Your story must give you a lesson. Your story must help you grow, to move from where you were when this happened to go somewhere. Your story must inspire you as well to want to change. One of my stories, I wrote a book called For a Season. Live, learn, grow. After having gone through a season was to do with just a house, buying a house, and then everything went north, and I ended up being homeless with the rest of the family for 8 months. But if you had met me in the streets, you would be envying me. Oh, I think I like that person. I think, oh, I wish I was here. But you don't know. You don't know what is going on. You don't know what has been. You don't know what will be. But only when you sit down and either ask the person, that's when you get to know. So in your own case, you do a personal self-assessment. That's the first stage that we all go through. Sorry, it has run away, so I'll go back. So, in order to do that, I've got a technique that I want to show you, which is called a life balance wheel, or the wheel of life. It's something that you will take away home, and it will help yourself once you get to know that. The wheel of life, every one of us must have a balance in life. God desires us to live a life of abundance. I'm not thinking about it. We all know, those who know who God is. He has given us the power to kill, to destroy, to build, to make. Everything is within us. This is what we should be discovering. God has given this power in you. It's all in here and in there. You don't need anyone to tell you. Once you sit down, the word of God says, you will hear a voice and it will say, this is the way. Walk into it. So, only when you paid attention and you are listening. So I'm going to give you this because it will help you when, as I go along with my talk. There's one for Mom. Sorry. Yeah, so that is the wheel of life which you hold on at the moment. Do you all have pens? Is there anyone with no pen? You don't have a pen? Let me check. So, hopefully there should be enough, I don't know. I don't know if they will be enough.
Oh,
Okay.
Thank you. It's okay.
Do you have one?
No.
Anyone with no pen?
Oh, you want to give me?
So, the wheel of life helps us to make the best choices. If no one comes to you to tell you, Selina, what you are doing is wrong, or there's something wrong with you. Selina said her kids had to tell her, walk up the stairway, because they noticed something is wrong. But what if you don't have anyone? The wheel of life comes in. You sit down. You think about how you can create a fulfilled life or balance your will. Balance your will. So you go on and assess your life, your current life balance. You look into your health, you look into your employment, you look into your career, your financial stability, your financial circumstances. You look at them. You haven't prayed yet, but you are taking a self-assessment. You look at your relationships, you look at your family, you look, is everything okay? This is the question you're asking. Is everything okay? Am I well? Are my kids well? Is everyone else in my family nucleus, are they well? Is it well with my job? Am I happy? Am I earning enough? Do I need to change? Do I need to go somewhere? Am I sick? Do I have depression? Am I stressed? The wheel of life helps you to do that. From then you can now clarify what is important. What is my priority? Is it health? What do I want today? Is it wealth? Is it financial stability? Is it my family? Is it me giving myself permission? The wheel of life will teach you that. You haven't gone anywhere. After you have used the wheel of life, you will know where you need to work on. You will know what you need to do. It helps us before we get sick to prevent. Before we get sacked from our job, to know what to do. Before we walk on the streets, homeless, the wheel of life will diagnose you. And you can take action. You can begin to work on it, on your life, on the area of priority at that particular time. Before you go to your pastor, your reverend, to say, I need a prayer. And need a prayer for what? Before you even know what to pray for, because many of us as human beings, we have a tendency of being lazy. We want everybody to do things for us. But imagine when you live a good life, do those people come to live with you? Imagine when your life is successful. Do they even have a share? Everything depends on you. You choose what to give them. Whether £5 or not, whether £10 or £1 million or not. That's your choice. But you are the main beneficiary. You are the person who is happy as. All these are spectators. Your doctor is a spectator. Your pastor is a spectator in your life. They have their own war, as they say, some other people. They have their own field to tender, to look after. That is their own life. you have to be responsible for your own life. Most of the problems we have had, we have caused them because we are too lazy to look into ourselves, to look in the mirror. So it's kind of like an overview. The wheel of life is like an overview. You take an aeroplane view of your life. You are above and you are down.
The bird's eye view.
Yeah, kind of. The bedside view, if you want to call it. And then it tells you, this is wrong, this is right. So you can choose to pray for yourself because you are the one with the relationship with God. And straight away your answers. You can choose to say, okay, maybe now I need the help of my pastor. You have done the assessment. Not just rushing to tell people about your problems. Not just rushing to look for someone to pray for you. Not just rushing to say, doctor, I don't know what's wrong with me. And that's when they will start saying your BP is, you're this, you're that, you're that. Because you can't come out of their office without them. So once you have diagnosed yourself, you can do it. That's when you begin to do your work on yourself. You can work on yourself and make sure everything is well. So that's the wheel of life. I want us to, once you have done that, you go through a process of self-discovery. Who am I? Where do I come from? Who is my mom? Who is my dad? How did they used to be like? You see, how can I do my best? How can I be like my uncle who owned shops and shops and shops? Because this is in my DNA. How can I be like my auntie who was a millionaires? Because it's already in my DNA. So you know who you are. Is this coming from somewhere? If it's a problem, is it coming from somebody I have an issue with? Is it coming just from life pressures or not? That's your self-mastery and self-discovery. You discover the wonderful person that you are. That you are fearfully and wonderfully made. You are God's masterpiece because you can do it. You are God's masterpiece because you can do it. That's how it looks like. And you uncover your purpose-driven life. What am I created to do? What should I be doing? Am I doing it? There's gold hidden in you. Every one of us. There is some gold that is hidden. Unless you uncover that gold, your life will remain the same. So we have to uncover that gold that is hidden in us by God. And that's when we can fulfill life. And that once we find our purpose, we'll do. Our purposes, or your purpose, your goal, your vision, you can only discover it. Usually the basics is when you have gone through a trial. That's when you discover your purpose. Many people who have been successful in life, they have a background history. One of them is a very nasty history. Everyone you have seen, you have heard, they have a story. But they chose one thing. They chose to rewrite their story. To rewrite their story in their own words. Because someone was writing it for them with labels. When you rewrite your story, you replace bad with good. You take the negative and you bring in the positive. Because you know this is who you are. Because you have already discovered who you are. Due to that self-mastery, that self-discovery. This is what I would like to encourage you today. Because once you master that, you know your destiny. where you are destined to be in 10 years, in 5 years, in 3 years, in 20 years. You know where you are going to be. And any challenge, any limitation, any blockage that comes your way, you know how to kick it because you are late. You know how to encounter and face it and deal with it because you are alert. You have discovered who you are. So this is what is very important, which we never knew. Those who grew up my time, maybe your parents never sit down to talk to you about who you are. Even your parents may not even have known who they were. They have died without knowing who they were. And this is why we carry on a legacy of maybe being poor, a legacy of sicknesses. They say, oh, there's diabetes in my family. I say, hell, there's no diabetes in your family. You are the one who wants diabetes. If you don't want that diabetes, you can be healed. You can kick it off. Where did it come from? That diabetes, you are saying there's diabetes in my family. Where did it come from? Is it something that is planted in your family? You can deal with that. So how does my wheel of life work? That's where we are going to go to now. So this is just a plain wheel of life. The wheel of life usually has 8 parts. God created us with these and He blessed us. In Genesis, we hear God saying, let there be. Let there be. And that is the same power He gave us to say, let there be, if it's not there. But generally, God knew that you are supposed to be fruitful. He said, go ye and multiply. Meaning having children, having marriages, multiplying in what you have, in your money, in your houses, in your whatever it is, possessions. Go and possess. In other words, so it can mean in anything. So when the wheel of life is the 8 parts, I want you to look at yours. Yours has already been divided, but this is a blank. So when you get home, you draw your wheel of life. Let's do one here. That is a blank circle. So we divide it. That's how we just do it. So this is your central. That's me here.
One more line.
One more line now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's me. That's your blank wheel of life. That's you sitting down when you are confused and you don't know what is wrong. No one has told you anything, but you just feel things are not right. You sit down and then you divide your wheel. You are now carrying an assessment. There's no social worker to come and carry assessment for you. You are carrying it yourself. There's no doctor to come and do the assessment and diagnose. Because they ask you, what have you been sleeping enough? Have you been this and that? They are only asking to try and find what's the reason behind. But you can ask yourself and be honest with yourself. Giving yourself permission, that's what we learn. To learn from your life. Giving yourself permission to grow from your current circumstance. Giving yourself permission to choose to be the best person. So that's it. So I want you to look at yours. It's already labeled, but there's one part I don't like, which is there, which I'll tell you. So then you go on to saying health, labor, family. So all this is about family. This is about health. So you go on to say career. Even if you don't have a career, Maybe you may be on benefits or whatever. You need to put there how it's going.
Domestic engineer.
Then you go on to say
Like a housewife, domestic engineer.
whichever, domestic engineer. You go on to say spiritual. Your spiritual life. Then you go on to say your fun and leisure, the exercises that we have been talking about. Then you talk about money here or finances. That's your money.
Friends and family.
That's your recreation or fun. Let's put fun and then recreation or exercises or whatever you call it. Then maybe you can put your friends. Did I put other? You can say relationship. Relationships. Relationships will cover friends, networkings, the networkings you do. Are you okay with your friends, your social life in general? So I'm sure that's how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
One left.
Personal growth.
Personal growth, yes.
That comes under the spiritual growth.
No, spiritual is personal growth is like here, what you are learning today.
You didn't put spiritual here.
Spiritual is
It's not here.
oh, yeah, that's the one I said that there is no spiritual. So where what I want you to do is to cancel what is it I didn't like? Significant other. Where it's saying significant other, put your spiritual. Spiritual, yeah. Where it says home environment, you can also add your social life, your cultural life. Where it says health, add physical and mental. Physical and mental health. So people define it differently. I was trying to see what I can print. That's how I came across this one. I just needed one that's already printed. So that's how I came, but you can label it differently. So this is your plain, and that's your labeled one. You have gone on to that. So now you take stock, finding the balance. What do I do now to look at my balance? You are going to label a mark. You are going to give yourself, score yourself on that label. So with those ones, I want you to score yourself. That's you when you are sitting there. I may ask a question of how far it has gone, but I want you to score yourself. So health. For me, health at the moment, I'm on 7. So 7 might be somewhere here. 7 out of 10. They all go out of 10. 10 is your highest, you have no problem with your health. If you have 5, maybe there's something, maybe you are getting stressed, or it's not something serious, but you are getting stressed here and there. Not everything is okay. Maybe you are having headaches, which needs you to be taking your water consistently and
It's
enough.
Nice to be worried. It's nice to be worried.
Yes. So that's 5 is the average. So it's 0 is 1 to 10. That's the score of the wheel of life. Everything is on 1 to 10, but you score yourself. I said mine is 7. So put your mark here. You can choose to say, to even put small ones like this, and you number them if you want. But this is where my 7 is, here, on health. Go on your family. On your family relationship with your children. Some people don't talk to their children yet. They don't talk to their siblings. They don't even visit. But it impacts on your growth, your mental and your physical, on your health as well. It impacts. Because these, they work hand in hand. It's a complete life balance wheel. So score yourself, your relationships with your siblings, with your children, with anywhere where it's not right in your family. Score. If it's 5, maybe you haven't spoken to your sister in ages.
Zero.
It's 0 on yours.
Sister.
You see? Do you only have a sister? Okay. Your parents are late?
They gone.
What, do you have children?
I have children.
How is your relationship with them? Are they still living with you?
2 weeks to uni.
In uni? Are you always in touch? Is everybody happy? Is any one of them having any issue?
All have got some issue.
So, score, you are able to tell. So maybe you will need a 5. Probably, I don't know. But if it's your sister, you can't get a 0. Maybe you're on 3. Then you can say, I've never spoken to my sister in ages. What's the problem? Go and deal with that problem. God wants us to live a fulfilled life. He wants us to be happy with each other. He wants the other person to be happy about you, to be happy with you as well. I don't want to bump into Selena and look this way. Already, I've been uncomfortable in that moment when I bump into her. Yet I'm supposed to hug her, embrace. How are you, my sister? Even if I don't give her anything. Yes. It makes me happy. Maslow's hierarchy of needs. You need friends. You need friends. You need family. You need to happiness.
Good for mental health.
Which is good. So score yourself on your family and go on your career. What is it saying on your career? Did you choose the right career? Are you happy in that career? Are you earning enough to look after your family, your children, to look after yourself? Are you earning enough? Or maybe you are that person who is going in the shop to buy, but you are coming out with something extra which you haven't bought because you can't afford. Your life is not balanced. So score yourself there as well. I want us to score ourselves. As far as myself in career, I'm on 8 because I'm doing what I love to do. I've discovered my passion, where my passion lies in my purpose. So I'm on 8 because I'm still developing to fully actualize, to get to the top of what I do. So I'm on 8. I have a balance. 8 from 10, I have 2. We'll come back to what you do with the balance. So I'm on 8 here. So my family, I am on 9. My parents are late. I have siblings. My siblings are still in Africa. I have one sibling who is in the UK. We get along very well. We help each other with children. My children are with me. So that way, I have 2 children only. So I live with my daughter and my husband. My daughter just finished university and she passed with the flying colors. She was doing computer science. She got a first class degree. So all that changed. It transformed us in terms of family. Everyone has been happy and she begged herself a good job, what she wanted, what she dreamt of in life. So that's how life should be in terms of career. You work a job that you want. You go into that office that you are always looking to say, if ever I can get there. And this is what we should be teaching our children. Because nothing has been passed to us. We have nothing to tell our children. This wheel of life, go and talk about it with your children. Come in school. End of every semester or year, let's do a wheel of life. How are you? Where are you? It helps you as a parent to track the progress even of your children. Because if one child is not well, you are able to tell. And share yours with them as well. That's how you can discover each other. So on my spiritual, I'll put a 7 here. I'm somewhere, sorry, my 7 is somewhere here. So that's where I am. I'll explain why I am on 7. I'm going through a course that I'm doing, and I have been in a group where we do some prayers quite a lot. I haven't been taking part because of my studies. So that has literally dropped my spiritual life too. And the studies as well has taken away some of my prayer time with my family. We normally do every night, if all of us are there, we normally do our prayer and someone just shares from what they've been reading, or we can read a Bible passage and we share. But we haven't been able to do that because I am studying and my husband is also working away. So it's kind of like disjointed, and it's like me and my daughter, mom and daughter time, which we had on a Wednesday. So that one we are doing every Wednesday. So that's what made my spiritual life go to 7. But I can change it. I can find a way of taking it up to 9 or to 10. Then I come on the money side. I'll put 7 again. I'll explain. I'm not rich, but I have enough. I have enough to get what I want, to get what my kids want. As long as I'm not stealing and I'm not borrowing. That's where you need to be. I'm not stealing, I'm not borrowing. It's enough to buy. For this month until the next month, I have enough. And maybe I may be left with just a little bit. Or sometimes I may be left, I may not be. Depends on your priorities for that month. You may have more priorities than the other. Then my fun and that one is on 6. So 6 is 7. And my spiritual is 7. So this one is on 6. Exercises. I normally get up very early and I drive to my gym. There are some exercises that they do, total tone, you choose what you want, Zumba and everything. So there are different times. But because I'm studying, so sometimes I am behind with my homework before the next lesson, so I need to cover it up. So I'm not going to the gym at 6 o'clock like I used to do. I've got to prepare and finish. Sometimes I'm preaching on a prayer line that we have. We normally do that 9 o'clock. So maybe I'm preparing my message, which I haven't managed to prepare. So that's why my fun and recreation has gone on to 6.
So can we say that it's time management, right?
Yes, that's where what will come at.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Because you are going to critically
Analyze
yourself. Then my relationship with my husband, I put it on 9. I'm not perfect, but I put it on 9 at the moment. I put it on 9. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do as a wife, and we are all happy. It's unfortunate I didn't manage to bring my husband with me. He always wants to go everywhere I go. He's my first cheerleader and always. So today he had some work to do, so he wouldn't, but he always comes. So he's here. I'm here 9. I would give myself that. Even my relationships with my children or my sisters, I'll put a 9. With my sisters, when we lost our parents, we were so vulnerable, such that we look after each other. So my elder sister has become our mom, kind of. She has been there when we married. She has been there when we have children. So we are always, I can't spend a day without sending a text or saying hello. Same as her as well, same as the other sister. So because of this time now, we have what we call these WhatsApp groups. So end of the day, we all text on our group. And then
the relationship, which part did you say we covered the relationship?
on that on friends and family.
Oh, okay, okay.
Put it there, yeah. So your personal growth, my personal growth, because I'm now empowering others. I'm not that low, I'm on 8. I would say my personal growth, I'm on 8 because I have to stay on top of everything so that I'm able to help those who need me to hold their hand and walk with. So, yet still we go back to our part that we are always learning. So this is how you score. So now, once you have scored, you have put your, so on my personal growth, I said my 8. Okay. So now, look at how it looks like. Join them. Balance it. So take this to join to 7, and then to 7, and then to 6, and then to 9, and then to 8, and then to 7, and then to 6 here, and then to 8. So now, at first it was a complete circle. It was balanced when it was blank when I showed you. So if I remove this bit, look at the circle. It's no longer a complete circle. It's no longer normal. It's abnormal.
It's not
Some-
that abnormal. Quite good. Mine is a spider.
So if you have scored yourself, join the parts. Join the parts. So that's how it looks like. That's how it looks like. So let's now move on to the next. It'll be a bit faster. So if you have done that, look at why is it not normal? Ask yourself why. What is wrong? You are now analyzing. What can I do? If I am not exercising, okay, maybe you go and join my gym or buy any exercise equipment in your own house if you can do that, and find your free time to do. Go and talk to someone who knows and do as much as you can. So,
Plenty of apps there.
sorry?
There's plenty of apps in there.
Yes, you can also look in
Seven
apps.
minutes.
Yeah, consider each area of your life and assess what's off balance. What is it that is off balance, and why is it off balance? Is it my career? Why is it off balance? Do I have a good relationship with my manager? Is it my prayer life? Why am I not, praying? If you are somebody who is used to pray, if you don't believe, then look at your spirituality. Do you have a connection with your maker? Because you didn't just happen to be there.
No.
It didn't just happen to be there. Where do you come from? Where did you come from? So if it's your ancestors, then maybe are you in connection with them? You need to ask yourself. So now, what is your desired future? Your desired future is the 10. But if it's on 7, like here, if my health is on 7, my desire for a complete full of health and happiness, I must have 10. So how can I take my health from 7 to 10? That's action. That's action. That's how you begin to work. Which area needs attention for now? For me, is the one with a 6. Because that's the lowest score. Check your lowest score. That's the first. So at any given time, you can only take 3 areas to work on intensively. So these are the 3 areas that have the lowest. In my case, my spiritual is 7. My career is 6. My recreation is 6. And my money is 7. So those are what I pick. And then what can I do to balance my financial situation? What can I do to fully develop, to have a connection with the inner man, a connection with my maker? That's my spiritual. Then I look, is it reading the Bible and praying every day? Is it going to ask somebody to pray with me? Is it learning more about God? Is it drawing closer? Whatever. If it's my ancestors, is it about getting to know about them more and more? And how do I connect? I don't know. You will know how you connect with the unknown. That which you call your maker. So that's how you can diagnose yourself. You have done your diagnosis. This is your will. As you can see, this is someone's. You can actually color. These are the connections which we were talking about. So that's the wheel of life. That's a very important tool. to help you. And you will never say, I don't know what's wrong with me. Because we have that tendency, oh, I don't know what's wrong with me. I don't know what I can do. That's it. You scored your will and you have the marks. Understand your score. Understand your score. Understand your will every day. Even if you choose to use this wheel of life just to set your goals. Like I said, you can use it to to help your children develop in school. Where are they falling short? Because if the family history is not right, in school when we were growing up, we were used to be told that if your parents are fighting, maybe you come to school and it's bothering you. You don't pay attention. So use it to help your children grow and do their best. That's how you can use it. These things are not meant for you to keep, but for you to fix once you discover it's wrong. It's not for you to just, okay. No. It's meant for you to fix. So it's not everything in your will that you should be worried about fixing. That's why I said select maybe the lowest. Some, maybe it's just nothing. Maybe you are getting stressed about, maybe you didn't get paid this month and they said we'll pay you next month. So why should you worry? Why should it be something to eat you out, to stress you, to get you to the extent of depressing you? Maybe you are not married and you want to be married. Why should it depress you? People get married even 10 times, marry, divorce, People even get married in their 50s. I know. I've got it.
93.
You got married at what? 50.
Me 53.
You see? 53? Yeah, I have got a friend or a sister to a friend. She got married at 65. 65 is the age to retire, isn't it? But she got married at 65. Beautiful wedding we went to. Beautiful marriage.
Yeah.
God fulfills his promise. This wheel of life works with the promises of God as well for you. So if you know who you are, like I said, you know what has been promised to you. You know what God has promised you. And this is what you think about when there is a shortfall in your will. When the marks or when the score is not tarrying. So think about your promises. What did God promise you? So even if you are not married, you will get married effortlessly. I got married effortlessly. Effortlessly. Without doing anything. And when you marry effortlessly, you marry the right person. Because God knows. Your duty is to bring it before him when your will is not balanced. You know what? Yes?
But are you sure in our daily life we can find the score of 10 in each of those?
Yes, in a moment we can. Yes. You can find 10 because sometimes.
Not in one. Not in one.
Oh no. Okay.
Almost.
No.
Okay. Like we say no. And then the circle will not be correct. Like it's gonna be just that means there is a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why it can't be 10 because there's a problem.
Yeah.
Even if it's
Because it involves other people.
Yeah. You can't.
The wheel of life involves other people. It's not you alone.
Yeah.
If it was yours, it can be like that. But because it is involving your kids, if you have any, your sister, if you have any, you see,
Your neighbor.
it's involving your manager at work,
Partners.
your partner. That's why it can. But for you, it can be like that because you can choose to maintain your wheel of
What
life.
was his question?
His question, he said, can it always be balanced?
So all
Round.
10, all round.
That's balanced. That's all round, like
Yeah,
with
like
no.
10
No.
everywhere.
That's why we are saying It can't be. For you only, if you live in a vacuum, as they say, if you live in a space of your own without, in an island where there's no one.
Maybe even if you're in the island with no one, you start having problems that you are
Yeah.
with alone. Well, I think that might be the
You
case.
really have problems.
You'll be like you are alone.
You
So
really
you
have
got
problems.
problems. Yes. You're not-
Okay.
Yeah.
Bills
Okay.
gonna give you problems still.
Then there's also one very important thing. If you can't fix, think about some things you have got to let go and find peace. There are things we have to release ourselves from and let go. That is what maybe you can't fix. You cannot fix sometimes someone's mindset. You cannot fix your sister's if she is the one who is choosing to. But you can let go. You can let go. I know a friend of mine, I was trying to help. She had to let go her sister because the sister was up to just finding problem. You never do this for me. You never, I did this for you, but you can't. This is a mourner, a complainer, someone who is always looking at small things.
Abusive relationships. You
Mhm. Some of them abusive relationships. You can't. Sometimes you have to let go. That's when your choice comes. That's when you make a better choice, which I talked about in the beginning. To say, how can you make the best choice? You can release yourself. Give yourself permission to let
go.
and you find peace in the heart. Letting go brings a new character in you. It refreshes your soul. If you don't let go, you create issues, and this will affect your happiness. You create issues for yourself, and it will affect your happiness. So, reflections. I want you to look at your will. I'm going to ask, what was the problem for you which you have identified on your will, if you have been working on it, unless if which is it? What was your problem? Can you handle your challenge? Anyone who wants to just talk about one of their problem? And yeah?
Yeah. I would say fun and leisure. It seems to do a lot more for others, not for myself. I am working on it already. I am now looking for somewhere where I would give what I give, because I'm a therapist.
Okay.
I look after other people and make them feel good. But then I don't have anyone else. I can't really get myself that therapy. So now
You
I'm
can't
paying,
fill your own cup.
Yeah. So I'm now paying to go and have people to make sure they do something good, and I'm taking myself even away for holiday to make myself have that fun and leisure which I'm missing.
Okay. So that means you can handle your challenge.
Yes.
You have discovered. Anyone else with a challenge, maybe they've discovered and they can. Okay. Yeah?
Personal growth.
Personal growth.
Yeah.
What score did you get?
I think the last time I got my master's degree, 2018, I was actually thinking of getting some other, training that would help me boost the master's degree. But I've never done anything since then.
Oh.
It's as if I can't even remember what I did again.
It happens. And maybe you never needed to find some other to boost it. You just needed to find where exactly the problem is in your mind. How best can you benefit out of it? How can I fix this? Maybe it's not going back to uni. It's not looking at an extra course. It's maybe starting something, then you learn from it as you grow. It's maybe finding your passion. Have you found your passion? What did you study?
I actually studied environmental management.
Is it the job you are doing?
No, that's not the job, that's the problem I'm talking about.
You need to see me. Okay, so while you are doing that, you can also remember, don't forget some basic concepts. take them and apply to that situation. And even if it doesn't work, that's when you have the best solution to say, I'm supposed to do this. Challenges can be a blessing in disguise when you have some enlightenment. I wrote this book. I had spent 5 years no job. I have almost 3 degrees in the UK. But my challenge, my situation, I learned from it. It's a blessing. Because I said it made me discover my passion. Look at me here. I'm here. I'm standing. I may not have been paid for for coming to stand with you, but I have made 10 steps ahead from today, because someone is going to be transformed. I'm sure I've changed somebody's way of thinking. I've changed somebody's mindset, life in one way or the other. Because once you live here, you are going to learn something. You are going to live with something. You will say that day on the 20th of August, 2022, I went to this event and this is what I learned. Challenges help us to seek the balance on the wheel. They show us which areas to pursue. Like we have said, challenges help us to navigate through life and come out with solutions. That's what we said. What is your solution? What should I do? As he said. So, we're rushing time. Then you take steps. Awareness is your first step, getting to know. Take responsibility for yourself. It's you, it's your life. Be responsible. Know where you are. Work with the end in the mind. Result. Where you are and where you want to go to. That's the end. Where do you want to go to with what you have studied so far? What made you choose that course to go? It means you wanted to go somewhere. So why are you not getting it there? Be very clear. Clarity is very important. I like talking to myself because no one is hearing it. No one is going to gossip about it. Even if you shout at yourself to say, stop it, Rujeko. Rujeko, you are a fool. Do this, do that. No one is hearing. Why are you doing this? Wake up. That's your own conversation in the mind. So keep daydreaming about your vision. Visualize your future. Look at it. Always be ready to speak to yourself. Every day, always be ready to speak to yourself and about yourself. I had quoted this verse, this chapter, if you go and read it, is about Zelophehad's daughters. They stood up and changed the narrative. They stood up against what the law was saying, the narrative, whatever. Go and read. You'll find out what they did. It's amazing. It transformed for future generation the status quo. Yeah, it went in the book of history. Once you are able to do your will of life, your success will go into books of history. Plan, stand, and execute your plans. I have this little book, which is called Purposeful Planning. Purposeful planning. It's one of our weaknesses. We fail to plan and we plan to fail. Yet planning has its own principles. So I sell this book because I work with kids. I have a project that I do in Africa. I'm working with children in Zambia and in Zimbabwe to help them make the best choices. So this book is £7, this little booklet, but it teaches you how you can make a goal and follow it. That's planning up to an end. You can do it yourself, but I offer courses about it online, and sometimes I do my courses in person. Every January we do purposeful planning with people who are saying, I'm sick and tired of my year. So this one was for 2022, a workbook. So if you say, I'm sick and tired of my 2021 life, in 2022, I want to plan purposefully, and I want to come out of 2022 with something in hand to say, hip hip, hooray, I've achieved. So that's what you do. You go and plan. You plan, you stand, you execute, you do what you have planned to do. That's what you do. And then you also keep daydreaming about your plan. But you use some tools, important tools. Use your free time to enrich your life, my brother. Use your free time, start doing things, start volunteering, you learn a new skill. Maybe it will connect to what you have already done. Read books as well. Deal with negative emotions. Deal with your fear. Remove the fear and the anxiety. Oh, what if I do this? What if it's not right? Oh, what if they laugh at me? What if they say this? Cultivate gratitude. Start by giving thanks for the little things you have. For your parents, for your mom, for everyone. Start with gratitude. And invest in yourself. To invest in yourself is to come to places, to events like this. Because investing, you use your money for fuel for the bus, you come, you listen, but you go away with something. That's investment. You have bought knowledge. But this knowledge will transform your life. Yet maybe you paid £3 to be here or £5 on the bus. But you have invested the £5 to gain knowledge. You can change careers if you think. People go back to university at 60. I've got a client I worked with recently. His dad graduated this July at 65. So the sky is the limit. You can do anything. Create goals. Live a life of creating goals when you have gone through your wheel of life. Go and create a goal. A goal to say, what's next? What do I need to do about this? How can I overcome this? That's a goal. Be grateful always. And embrace changes and learn to say no. Because some of these things that we go for are not useful to us. Your resources. Your richest resource is your mind. Your mindset. That's what God has given you. It's responsible for your inner healing of your life. It's the compass of your life, your mindset. And then prayer is your greatest resource again. Prayer changes things.
Everything.
Prayer changes every situation. Then develop self-confidence. When you can question yourself, when you can sit down, that's confidence. Some people have no time. Some people are even scared to question themselves. Develop that confidence to do that. And keep focus. Never drop what you started. Keep focus and finish. Balance the wheel of life and take action. Balance the wheel of life and take action. So the next one, my summary and conclusion. Everything demands learning. You learn, you invest. Every minute you learn, you are investing in yourself. Every minute you learn, you are investing. Today, you are one step forward. Because all these tools that you have learned and all that you are taking away, it's one step forward. Your life is never going to be the same as yesterday. I'm telling you, if you think like that. But if you don't think like that, nothing will happen. Life demands your daily input and reflection. Reflection, sit down and say, how was the day today? Question yourself. Was it good on me? Or did I meet people who favored me? Did I develop relationships? Did I make friends today? What did I do? What was it that was going on? You can only win when you take action to do the self-reflection, to do the self-assessment, to take the action, to go the next step, an extra mile. Taking action is a choice to come out of your darkness. That's the choice by taking action. There's always someone willing to help. Remember? There's always someone willing to help. If you really want and if you are stuck, there will be someone willing to help, taking you outside the village of darkness and leading you the way. You know, when Jesus healed the blind man, he took him outside the village where it was dark and then spit on his eyes and then he said, what do you see? I see people like trees. That is partial light. And Next time, what do you see again? He performed the same miracle. He put mud on his eyes, and then he could see clearly. So we should aim to always see clearly, not partial. So someone is ready, and then your action starts now, because it's either Jesus said, go and tell them, go and show yourself to the priest, go and this, you are taking action, go and do this, you are taking action. That's how we all live. So this, the purposeful planning, I talked about it. I have an investment offer anyone who wants to go through that. It's a 6-week course that you go through, and your life will never be the same. So you learn about your identity, you learn about your limitations, what is limiting you. You set boundaries for yourself. You look into your values and your beliefs because they affect you sometimes. You look at setting your goal, and I am behind you. I check up on you. I look at what you have done and how you have done so far. If it's looking for a job, I look at how whether you have sent that application and how you perform in your interview. I work with you as well. Then that's action planning.
Finally, let's meet outside. Otherwise, we're going so much that waiting.
Okay.
Okay.
So sorry, can just go and talk.
So that's the end to my presentation today.
Okay.
Thank you very much for listening.
Yes.
Yeah. So I hope you have been blessed.
So
Oh,
much,
we've
so
been
much.
blessed.
Thank you
was
so
good.
much.
I want that
Yeah.
book.
That's
You
yeah.
take us